Hello, Railroaders. So it's come to that time where I am going to review the solfege scale with you and then talk to you a little bit about something called a key signature. The times when I talk most about key signature usually is when we are doing sight reading, so it makes sense that I would review key signatures with you when I talk to you about solfege. So, as you can tell, up here I have got the solfege scale from bottom do all the way up to top do. And if you were in with me in class, we would be doing warm-ups where you would be signing and singing. And the signs in the picture up there are your solfege signs. If you are someone who I haven't had in choir for all that long, then maybe these signs are still kind of foreign to you, or maybe they are very familiar to you. But do will always be a fist. Re will always be a slanted hand. Mi is that same hand, but it's flat. Fa looks like a thumbs down. So looks like a palm that is with the backside of your hand kind of facing out in front of you and the inside of your palm facing towards you. La looks kind of like a C but upside down. Ti looks like you're pointing up, and do is back at that fist. So when we start to use the solfege scale, it usually starts down with do, and then we go all the way up. And if you've ever done the do-a-deer warm-up with me, it goes through the entire solfege scale, or maybe you've done warm-ups with me that just use the scale, like a staggered scale. But the very bottom one, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all the way up to the top. And I'll just quickly sing it for you while I point to them. So it would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And sometimes I might have you do warm-ups where you start at the bottom and go up. Sometimes you would do them in quarter notes or half notes. And you can even go backwards in the scale. If you start on top do and we go backwards, it would be do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. If you're someone who has ever been in band, scales are something that you also do in band. And the solfege syllables, which are these do, re, and so on, are the way that we sing our scales. We just sing them on syllables. So this specific scale that I have shown here happens to be in the key of C. The reason I know that it's the key of C is because the very bottom note right down here, that's a C. This bottom note right here in bass clef, that is also a C. And you know that because you remember your trick for the spaces in bass clef, all cows, so that's C. For this C, the easiest way to figure that out if you're not familiar with ledger lines is to remember that the top line on the staff, or the bottom line on the staff, is an E. I changed colors so you could kind of see it. That would be an E. And if I go backwards in alphabetical order, that's a D. And then that leaves me with the next note, which is a C. So this would be key of C because our do starts on C. Whatever your key is, this one being key of C, that's where your do starts. So unfortunately, when you change keys, do's will not always be on a C like they're shown here. Here's where you find the key signature of a song so you know where do is. It will usually be, oh, and I have two treble clefs here, guys. This one's actually supposed to be a bass clef. Sorry about that. So when you see sheet music, at the very beginning of the sheet music or the very beginning of the solfege exercise, or wherever it is that I'm asking you to identify the key signature, it will always be between the clef and the time signature. For this one, you can see that there is nothing going on here. There's nothing in between there. And when there is nothing there, that's how I tell that that is key of C. Nothing is key of C. So for this example down here, I add my time signature. I'm going to show you in treble and bass, and it's just going to be the same as the one up there. This will be C. This is C. So this is do. We'll just abbreviate with a D. This would be re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all the way up. And I can add a stem so that they look like quarter notes. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And we'll do the same thing with the bass clef. Hoping that I don't run out of room. Oh, just about. And I'll add stems to these as well. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And just to recap on that one, there is nothing going on here in between the treble and the bass, or the treble clef and the time signature. So when that happens, that is key of C. And then C is do. So the next most common one that you're gonna see me assign you as a beginner exercise in solfege is what we call, whoops, that's an eraser, we don't want that. Key of F, meaning that do is F and our scale starts and ends on an F on the staff. Let's change colors. An F is always going to have one of these symbols, only one of them. If there's more than that, then that is a completely different key signature. Now, the types of symbols that you are possibly going to see are going to be flats, or not a hashtag, not a pound sign, but a sharp. And then when you see nothing, no flats or sharps, that's how you know that it was key of C. So in this one, I have got one flat, and that is key of F. And then F is do. So let me draw my scale, starting and ending on F. So we know that this is F because it's the first space in treble clef, face in the space. And then I'm gonna find the low F down here. And the reason I know that it's the low F, because this first line right here was a G, and if I go backwards in the alphabet going down, the letter right before G in the alphabet is an F. So that's going to be an F right there. So let's draw our F solfege scale all the way up to top do. So starting on do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Then down here for the bass clef, same process, starting on the do and bass clef. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And one final key signature that we're gonna do to start off with is one that shows one sharp. You've done key of C that has no sharps, no flats. You've done key of F, which has one flat in between your clef and your time signature. And now we're going to do key of G, which is going to have one sharp. Change colors really quick because I need my my time signature. And then I'm just going to circle this so you can see what it is that I'm talking about. This is key of G, and G is do. So that means that we're going to be starting and ending our scale on a G. So here's a G in the treble clef. It's that second line up from the bottom. Every good, if your trick is every good boys deserve fudge. And let's draw the scale all the way up. Hoping again that I don't run out of room. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Same thing for bass clef. Our bottom line in bass clef is a G. Let's draw it all the way up. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. All right, so let's just recap really quickly. Our solfege has seven 7 different solfege syllables and hand signs that go along with it. The scale has 8 notes because we start on low do, go through all of the 7 different ones, and we end with another do, which is top do. Our key signatures are going to be found in between our clef and our time signature, and there are 3 starting keys that you need to remember. Key of C, and we'll do this down here, 1 flat, 1 sharp, and 0 flat or sharp. And that 0 flat or sharp was key of C. C equals do. 1 flat, this one, that was key of F. And F equals do. And then the final one was 1 sharp, key of G. G equals do. All right. I hope this helps. Bye, guys.